Hey guys, what's up? Peace, how's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Back at it again with another video. Let's talk about it. AEW and Roman Reigns. This is an interview that he had with Complex. I have no idea when this was done, but our tribal chief was speaking straight fucking facts. And before we get into the video and move forward, I am not an AEW fanboy. I'm not a WWE fanboy, or an Impact Wrestling fanboy, or New Japan fanboy, or any other promotion, Ring of Honor, MLW. I'm not a fanboy. I call out bullshit when I need to call out the bullshit, and that is that. Moving on, let's get started. So Roman says this, and I quote, "No, I mean, not for me personally. This is one of those subjects that's very subjective, and there's a lot of passion and tribalism that really sways and creates an unbiased opinion. But I can only speak from my perspective. I'm one of those guys who will compete at anything. Like, I bet I can eat that cookie faster. I want to be the best at at anything that I choose to do. We pull up on lawnmowers, we cut the yard in half, I'm going to beat you. My side will look better than yours," Reigns explained. Moving on, continuing. "So me, I don't see the real competition with AEW because I think their fan base legitimately is a hardcore fan base. There's like a ceiling and a built-in ground to that viewership. The WWE is trying to connect with everyone. We're trying to connect with the mainstream. Straight facts. We're trying to pull in the casual fan. Straight facts. We're trying to engage the new viewer while also servicing our hardcore fan base and give them compelling stories to fulfill them as well." I don't know if I've said it before, but I'll say it. My bad. I don't know if I've said it before, but I've said it before. When the audience is probably the biggest character in your show, that's strange to me. Quote, Reigns does understand that more opportunities for pro wrestlers is never a bad thing, but he appreciates that aspect of all elite wrestling. However, when push comes to shove, Roman claims that he's the best in the business, and everyone, AEW included, can't touch him in this business. Facts. He says, and I quote, "You'll hear it all the time, the reviews, the comparisons. I think because they're the new kids on the block. They're the cool kids in town, I guess, because of how premature and how novel it kind of still is. I think they're still being babied by these hardcore wrestling fans, which is fine. That's great. I don't think anybody's going to ever, especially from a performance standpoint, say, oh no, there's more opportunities out here. That sucks." So it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing for professional wrestling. It's a thing. It's a great thing. It's just a weird argument because there's so much bias and there's so much, I'm on this side, I'm not going to open my mind to the other side. And I guess it goes both ways. Quote, as far as competition, not to me. There might be some people on our roster who maybe think they need to dig deep and get better as a performer and what they need, and what they do out there at the art form. But there's nobody in the whole world, in any promotion, in WWE. I'm better at this art form than everyone else I'm talking about. Oh, his spots are so good. And he counters real well. That stuff doesn't mean anything to me. When you tally it up, when you tally it all up, nobody touches me in this business. End quote. Damn. The dude spit straight fucking facts. He did. I'll have a link to this in the description below, and you guys check it out. But Roman is speaking straight facts. It's not about the moves and how well they're executed. It's about character. It's about storyline. It's about what you can invest in. He's right. WWE, as shitty as the product is, they are trying to connect with everyone. And you have to. They're trying to get into the mainstream, which at one point in time they were. They're sort of kind of in there now, to an extent. But he's right about AEW. He's right. AEW has not had mainstream exposure. Just because they're on TNT and soon to be TBS in January of 2022, that doesn't mean anything. They have a long, long way to go. Let's be honest here. They do not have stars. They don't have that many stars. Not homegrown stars. That's why you see guys like Bryan Danielson over there, Moxley, and others. They're using those guys because they can't grow their homegrown talent. They can't. Not right now. Now, they are going to grow it with Hangman Adam Page. That's fine, but they don't really have any marketable guys that they can go mainstream with, that they have grown themselves. MJF is someone they could definitely use and push to the moon, but they've not done that. MJF should already be world champion, not Kenny Omega. But it's just the truth. AEW has a lot of work to do. They're only 2 years old, and they have a lot to do. They act like they've been to the mountaintop. They've been to the creme de la creme. They've been at the top. They have a long, long way to go. And if they're not careful, and if they don't calm the fuck down, that being Tony Khan and the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Tony Khan has a lot of work to do. Tony Khan has a lot of work to do. Tony Khan needs to stay in his lane. He has acquired the services of CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, soon to be possibly Bray Wyatt, Ruby Soho, and others. He's brought in a bunch of people, and he continues to sign more and more talent to his roster. The roster has over 120 people. That is way too much. That is way too much. Then also look at the debut of Punk when he brought Punk in on August 20th. The first dance, his hometown. Rampage pulled in what? 1.1 million. And Rampage, after that, after they brought Punk in, Rampage has been on the decline ever since. Rampage has. Dynamite, same thing. It's kept $1 million and some change for about 6 or 7 weeks. Now it's going to take a big decrease. Even though Dynamite is on tonight and next Saturday, it's still going to be painful because they're going to lose a bunch of ratings. They're going to lose a bunch of their audience members. A lot of people are going to not become invested. They're not. And that's Tony Khan's fault. You know, yes, he does have that leverage where he can actually be able to have the ability to put Dynamite on Saturdays. Whereas WWE cannot do that with Raw or SmackDown. They are in those nights and they cannot switch those nights out. They cannot. Raw is a 3-hour program and there is no way that it can ever go on any other night. The same thing with SmackDown. It's a 2-hour program. It will always basically be on Fox. I mean, WWE on the business side of things is doing tremendous. They are. They're about to get $50 million from Saudi Arabia this coming Thursday at Crown Jewel. They've got the NBC deal. They've got, I think they've got $1 billion from Fox. They got $1 billion from Peacock. WWE right now is doing pretty okay. Yes, they are putting out shitty content, but AEW has a lot of work to do. And I think the main thing of what Tony Khan needs to do, Tony Khan needs to stay in his own lane, and it's the same thing with Vince McMahon. Both companies need to stay in their lane and focus on themselves. If AEW continues to be an indie promotion going forward, they will not make it. They will not make it. If you do not bring in casual fans, if you don't bring us in, you will not make it. Once they bring in Bray Wyatt, who are they going to bring in next? They've already blown their load. In the last 3 months, we have seen it. They brought in Malachi Black in August. Before that, they brought Andrade in back in June. Then they brought CM Punk in August. They brought Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole. Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole at All Out last month. Ruby Soho's there. They just signed Bobby Fish. Not to also mention, you're signing top level talent, so you know that AEW is giving these guys big money contracts. I'm pretty sure CM Punk's going to be making 7 figures. Bryan Danielson, same thing. Adam Cole, same thing, if not close to it. Then you also have to realize and take into account that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn could jump ship and come to AEW, which they more than likely will. So then you got Bray Wyatt coming in, possibly around Full Gear, although I wouldn't bring Wyatt in around Full Gear. I would just wait till next year and bring Wyatt in that way. But if Tony Khan continues to sign talent and give talent these massive 6 and 7-figure deals, that's going to hurt him in the long run. That's going to hurt him in the long run. I can guarantee you that. I know for a fact that Moxley, Jericho, and others, they've got to have 7 figures. I know Jericho is making 7 figures. I know it. CM Punk, same thing. Bryan Danielson, same thing. These guys are expensive as fuck. They are. Adam Cole, same thing. If he's not making 7 figures, he's making a strong 6 figures. Then you have the EVPs, the Bucks, Omega, Cody Rhodes. They're all making 6 figures, a strong 6 figures. It adds up over time. It adds up when you start bringing these guys in These guys don't come cheap. They don't come cheap. And that is what ran WCW out of business. When you start bringing these guys these big lucrative deals, that adds up. It adds up. Look, I like Tony Khan. I like AEW to an extent. But AEW has to bring in casual viewers. If they do not bring in casual viewers, they will fall in due time. If I was AEW, I would not focus on WWE at all. Focus on yourself. Focus on making your product better. Focus on creating better storylines. Focus on yourselves. Stay in your lane. That's the most important thing that you can do. So on that note, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. Catch you guys later. Peace.